Hillary Clinton's brand survives a generational shift. Philadelphia. The last time the Democratic National Convention nominated a Clinton for president, the party faithful were celebrating free trade, fighting crime, deficit reduction and welfare reform. That was Bill Clinton's final campaign as a New Democrat, one whose claim to fame was being able to negotiate with the likes of Newt Gingrich and Bob Dole. First Lady Hillary Clinton, after a star-crossed turn as healthcare czar, spoke to delegates at the Chicago convention about raising children. The party has changed radically since then. The 74-year-old socialist nearly won its presidential nomination with a set of policy prescriptions that would have been out of place in 1996, from free college tuition to protectionist trade policies. And yet Hillary Clinton, after losing the nomination to Barack Obama in 2008, is back on top. She is the modern version of the Clinton politics and agenda, fit for a totally different era. Jonathan Cowan, president of the moderate Democratic think tank Third Way, says that's why she's so appealing. Clinton's ability to bridge the gap between generations is a testament to the party's consistent focus on the middle class, her own differences with her husband on key issues and the knack of both Clintons to brand themselves for the eras in which they served. It almost didn't work this time, just as it did in 2008. Clinton, lacking the natural political skills of her husband, did not reboot sufficiently for a 2016 primary campaign in which 4 in 10 Democrats described themselves as liberal, down from fewer than 3 in 10 at the turn of the century, according to the Pew Research Center. That left her vulnerable to Bernie Sanders' insurgent campaign. Hillary Clinton has become a bit of a stale brand, says Douglas Brinkley, the presidential historian at Rice University in Texas. In many ways, she is a hostage of the past. Instead, she ran on her resume, from her time as First Lady to her most recent stint as Secretary of State. It helped that she would become the first woman nominated for president by a major party and that her age 68 was not a liability against Sanders' 74 and her next opponent, 70-year-old Donald Trump. Luckily for her, the Democratic Party's shift to the left has not been as dramatic as the Republican Party's transformation from the party of Dole and George H.W. Bush into one in which Tea Party insurgents oust GOP incumbents in primaries, and Trump trumps them all with a new mix of populism and conservatism. The times have changed, but the party remains center-left, albeit a bit more hip-hop than 1996. The Macarena was famous, and people actually danced it at the convention, recalls Chris Lehane, a political consultant who worked in the Clinton administration. Time moves on, and anyone who's sophisticated, anyone who thinks about issues, anyone who's intellectually curious, you evolve with the times. It's been quite an evolution for the Democratic Party. The 1996 party platform said we must continue to expand trade, and not retreat from the world. It denounced big bureaucracies and Washington solutions. It lauded President Bill Clinton's effort to change our failed welfare system. That platform sounded much like Trump in pronouncing the first responsibility of government is law and order. It included a crackdown on illegal immigration, the massive prison building program and an expansion of the death penalty. Fast forward 20 years. The platform approved Monday by his wife's party states that global trade has failed to live up to its promise. It commits to reforming our criminal justice system and ending mass incarceration. It vows to abolish the death penalty as a cruel and unusual punishment. It also addresses issues that went almost completely ignored a generation ago. The word climate appears 46 times, 44 more than in 1996. LGBT issues get 19 references, compared to one single mention 20 years ago. Voting rights, income inequality, Wall Street reform all are far more important to the Democratic agenda now than they were then. Those new issues have given Democrats and Clinton new opportunities to seize. Both Bill and Hillary Clinton have always understood the most basic math of politics, which is that you always have to expand the tent, Lehane says. Hillary Clinton's comfort level with the party's 2016 agenda is not just a sign of her adaptability. What's easy to forget is that she is not her husband. Her policy views are in many cases more liberal. She is very much her own person, and she was her own person in the '90s, says Jeff Barron, the Democratic pollster who served as a key strategist for Clinton during her 2008 campaign. America has changed in very fundamental ways, and I think Hillary Clinton has stayed abreast of her times.